Today's video is going to show you the step-by-step process we went through to prepare and spray paint these cabinets. The homeowner wanted to change from a stained factory finish to a white enamel. This is the final product after everything was completed. So to get started, it's important to completely mask the kitchen. When masking the floor, it's a good idea to double up on paper 2 feet away from the cabinets. We first use a hand masker to run our border and then cover the entire floor with thicker construction paper and lay canvas drop cloths over that. When masking the walls, you'll notice we tape a 16-inch paper edge next to the cabinets. It's important to use paper next to the cabinets because it absorbs the overspray. If you use plastic, the dried overspray will release from the plastic and flake off into the finish. The customer's fridge was wedged into the cabinet and not movable, but in most cases you want to move the fridge out of the kitchen. We use an appliance airlift such as this, but you could also use multiple square sheets of plywood and roll the fridge out of the kitchen. Next, you want to remove all the doors. Label each doors and drawer location and either label the hinges or place them back inside the cabinet box where they came from. To label, you simply take a Sharpie and write a number in the recessed hole or under the spot where the hinge will eventually cover. After the doors have been removed, you will want to clean everything thoroughly with a deglosser/degreaser. We use M1 from Sherwin-Williams and we find it's a really good product. Now you'll want to scuff sand the surfaces with 220 grit sandpaper. You don't have to spend a lot of time on the scuff sand, you're just trying to create a dull, dry surface before primer is applied. After each coat we sand, vacuum dust, and tack cloth to remove contaminants. It's very important you control dust during the application process so it doesn't end up in the final coat. Here we are applying the first coat of primer and the material being used is shellac. We like to use shellac because it seals oils, grips onto pretty much anything, and it's compatible with most top coats. In terms of spraying, you have a few options to choose from. One of the easiest systems is an airless sprayer, but we like to use a turbine HVLP sprayer equipped with a 3M PPS system. The benefit to this system is it allows you to easily change between different material types without damaging the equipment. It also allows us to have extra control over the spray and provide an extra fine finish. For the second coat, we are applying a primer called Chem Aqua Surfacer from Sherwin-Williams. This primer is really nice because it dries in about 30 minutes and is fairly easy to sand. The Chem Aqua Surfacer is a water-based lacquer and has to be applied with a sprayer. If you wanted to apply the paint with a brush and roller, you could skip a lot of the masking and instead use an oil-based primer and Topcoat. If I went that route, I would probably use Sherwin-Williams Easy Oil Sand Primer and Sherwin-Williams Pro Classic Oil Enamel. You won't get quite the look of a sprayed on finish, but since it's in oil, its slower dry time will level out, making brush and roller marks less noticeable. Again, after each coat we sand and remove all the dust. For each subsequent coat we step up the sandpaper grit. Since we are sanding the surfacer, we are using 320 grit. Before the final coat we'll sand with a 400 grit. Here we are preparing the Chem Aqua Plus top coat for spraying. We like to heat the lacquer up to 100 degrees using a hot plate to reduce the viscosity and also thin the lacquer 2% with purified water. This allows us to spray the finish with optimal atomization while hitting the suggested mill thickness so the coating is durable and smooth. Now we're on to the doors, and we take all the doors off-site for spraying, but you could do it in a separate room of your house. To speed up the process, we put a couple of hangers on the blind side of the cabinet so you can spray both sides at once and hang them for drying. After completion, we fill the holes and touch them up. Chem Aqua can be tricky to dry vertically, so if you find yourself with sags or incorrect mill thickness, you may want to consider a horizontal drying rack such as this. So after about a week and reinstallation of the doors, this was the final product. The customer is really happy with the finish. I appreciate you watching this video. If you found this in any way helpful, please hit the like button below and comment with any questions.